Holiness Partha Sarathi Jai.
I do 40 rounds now, every day, 40 rounds. And I feel my body, that's why.
So we'd like to welcome all of you here this afternoon to the Sri Radha Temple. Thank you all for taking the time to be here with us this afternoon. So we are very fortunate that we have two very special guests with us this afternoon. Firstly, we would like to welcome His Holiness Ram Govinda Maharaj. And also, please give a very nice warm welcome for His Holiness Partha Sarathi Das Goswami. So there's just two announcements before Maharaj begins his class. The first announcement is that there's a presentation on Tirupati Dham by His Grace Haridev Das on Wednesday, the 12th of June, here at Sri Radha starting at 7 p.m. So that's this Wednesday, the 12th of June, a presentation on Tirupati Dham. Then there will be a course, a Sanskrit course for beginners. It's a workshop on Monday the 17th, that's not tomorrow, but the following Monday, and that's a public holiday. It will be here at Sri Radha Temple, and it will be presented by His Grace Partha Sarathi Das. So, yes, let's give him a round of applause. So interested persons can see Divesh Maharaj if you're interested in attending this particular presentation, or you can see one of the devotees at our book table. The course will run from 10 a.m. in the morning to 2 p.m. Then we also have some books available for sale. There is a new book available by His Grace Vida Prabhu, and that's available at 120 Rand. And there's also a set of 4 books available and we encourage devotees to take these sets. They're available at 230 Rand. So there will be devotees available here after class, so you can see Rajanath Prabhu if you're interested in taking these books. Thank you. We now hand you over to His Holiness Partha Sarathi Das Goswami Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Agina Tamarandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshamatamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapatamina Bhutale Swayam Bhagadamayam Dadanti Samvedantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Tabadakamalo Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Ragnatam Vitam Tam Shijivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shiva Shavitam Sya He Krishna Karana Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopikanta Radhakanta Namostate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sudadene Pranamani Haripriye Panchakalpa Trubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We're reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita. These are the instructions of Lord Chaitanya to Sanatana Goswami. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. It's described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which has been translated into Nectar of Devotion, that there are 64 different items in the practice of devotional service. 64. They're described as angas. What does that word anga mean? Anga means limbs, like your hands, your arms, your legs. So 64. I'm going to just read some of them. Chapter 22, text 123. Parikrama Stavapala Japa Sankirtan Dupamalya Ganda Mahaprasada Bhojanan. Number 17, one should circumambulate the temple. 18, recite various prayers. 19, one should chant Hare Krishna softly. 20, one should chant congregationally. 21, smell the incense and flower garlands offered to the deity. 22, eat the remnants of food offered to the deity. So these are circumambulate the temple. So we made provision here. Devotees can circumambulate the deities, Radharanath. When you circumambulate, then you go in a clockwise direction. Isn't it? Clockwise. But you'll notice next door at the stadium where they run, they go anti-clockwise. So they do it the wrong way around. Anti-clockwise apparently binds you, and clockwise releases you. So, and we can also walk around the moat, circumambulate the temple. Whether you do it 3 times or 8 times or 7 times, that's really up to you. Recite various prayers. We repeat the previous prayers. We repeat the prayers of the previous acharyas. There's two types of prayers. You can pray in your own words. My dear Lord, please help me in my devotional service. Please help me control my mind. There may be your personal prayer, and that's according to your level, according to your qualification. If you're struggling with your mind, then you pray to the Lord. Please help me control my mind. If you're on a higher level, you may be praying for entrance into Vrindavan. So your prayer is according to what level you're on. So, and another way of praying is you simply repeat the prayers of the previous acharyas, like the Tulsi prayer. Beloved of Krishna, Tulsi Devi, I bow down before you again and again. Whoever takes shelter of you has his wishes fulfilled. Bestowing your mercy, you make him a resident of Sri Vrindavan Dham. I also desire place in the pleasure goes of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Thus, within my vision, I will behold the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a follower of the cowherd damsels of Braj. Please give me the privilege of devotional service. So we say this prayer every day. You say it in English, and we sing it in Sanskrit. So you're repeating a prayer written by a previous acharya. So two types of prayers. You pray yourself in your own words, in your own language, or you repeat the previous prayers of the acharyas. Both are very beneficial. Both are very powerful. So recite Shri Radha Radhanath Ki Jai. So recite various prayers. Number 19, chant softly. So that is called japa. We chant softly the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Now when chanting softly, there's three types of ways of doing it. Vachak, Upamsik, Manasik. Vachik means you chant out aloud, as we just did. But it's not kirtan. Kirtan is when you sing. So you chant out aloud. Upamsik is you whisper. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. You whisper. It's like a whisper. And Manasik is in the mind. Sometimes you might be ill. You might be laid out on your deathbed. You may not have the energy to chant the name of God. You may not be able to move your lips. So does that mean you don't chant? No, of course not. It means you chant, but within the mind. Manasik. So these are three bona fide ways to chant. Manasik, within the mind. Upamsik, to whisper. And Vachik, chanting softly, out aloud. Srila Prabhupada has very clearly recommended that neophyte devotees, and we're all in that category, should chant out aloud. We should chant loud enough that the person next to us can hear. When chanting the names of God, we should move the two lips and the tongue. Otherwise, if we chant in our mind, what will happen? We will fall asleep. Definitely, we will fall asleep. Because we're a little bit neophyte, we're not so advanced. But as you develop your taste for the holy name, especially when you come into ruchi and you have real taste, you chant all the time. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has recommended that we chant the holy name 24 hours a day. Well, he said, except for when you sleep, you should chant the holy name. We can't chant Krishna's name when we're sleeping. But prior to that, and as soon as we're awake, one should always be chanting the name of God. So we have to train our mind. We have to train ourselves how to chant the name of God. Practice makes perfect. So that was number 19, chant softly. Number 20 is to chant congregationally. That means you chant with other devotees, just like Guru Kripa Prabhu was chanting. And we also have kirtan later. So many devotees together chanting the name of God. This is very powerful. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced this chanting. And he traveled throughout India, spreading the glories of the holy name through this chanting. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Gaya, he received initiation. And then when he came back to Navadvip, every night for 1 year in the house of Srivas, he would have nocturnal kirtans. What's nocturnal mean? At night. So at night, usually we sleep. But Lord Chaitanya would start chanting with his private associates. He didn't make it public. It wasn't public. It was private, only for the qualified, only by invitation. You couldn't gate crash. But one day, Srivas's mother-in-law, and this is where the whole idea of mother-in-law came, the mother-in-law gate crashed. She wanted to gate crash, so she snuck in, and she was hiding because she wanted to see Lord Chaitanya dance, and Lord Nityananda, and Advaita, and Gadadhar, Srivas. When Lord Chaitanya would have that kirtan, that Srivas Sangam would be like Rasa Leela. It's where Rasa Leela would take place. So Lord Chaitanya, he's chanting, and he can't feel his usual ecstasy. Something is wrong. And he asks Srivas, something is not right. Someone is here who shouldn't be here. Who is that? And Srivas got all nervous and said, actually, I think it's my mother-in-law. So it's completely bona fide to talk about the mother-in-law like this. Anyhow, she still got the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So chanting congregationally, we also like to do that. I remember chanting Krishna's name when Srila Prabhupada was present, dancing in front of Prabhupada, playing cartels. And Prabhupada also liked this. Actually, I remember we did the program in Durban City Hall, and there was like 7 of us. And we jumped up and down and danced. And there was a crowd of perhaps 2,000 people. This is in 1975 in Durban City Hall. And the next day, Prabhupada made a comment that we should have danced more. We should have danced more enthusiastically. You know, we were sort of like on show a little bit, 7 of us. And most of us were Europeans anyhow, like dancing white elephants. Prabhupada referred to his European American disciples when they would dance in India, and the Indian people would come to see. He would say, they're coming to see the dancing white elephants. So chanting out aloud is very nice, congregational chanting, especially if there are senior devotees, one's spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. So number 20 was chanting congregationally. Number 21, smell the incense and flower garlands offered to the deity. So when the flower garland, like this flower garland was offered to me, it's from the deity, one should accept it. Even if the flower garland is old, one should accept it. You put it on your head, you wear it, you accept it with respect. And even if prasad is given to you and it's old, you should honor it. If it's too old and it's become smelly, then you put it on your head and then you put it in some sacred place. But we should offer respects to the remnants of the Lord, especially prasad. And prasad means foodstuffs, but it also means the flower garland. You can even dry the flower garland, and then you can eat that flower garland. When Madhavendra Puri was offered a clay pot of milk by Lord Krishna, then and that kheer Govinda Kund and also later in Ramuna, he took the pot, he broke it into small pieces, and every day he ate a little bit of the pot. And the pot is clay. So obviously clay is not something you really eat. But because it was created and given to him by the Lord, he took it as mercy. And he would take a few grains of that clay every day. So you can also do this with flower garlands. You can dry them and put on your head some of the dust, or even take in your mouth. Number 22, eat the remnants of food offered to the deity. So this, we're all very spontaneous at doing. We don't have any problem about doing that. Everyone likes to take prasad that is offered to the Lord. Maha Prasad is described in chapter 16 of the Chaitanya Charitamrita that even the demigods don't get the facility or the opportunity to take Maha Prasad offered to the Lord. It's very rare to take this prasad, very rare. So we're taking it once a week, twice a week almost. Some of us get to take every single day Mahaprasad. So we should always respect that. Food that is offered to Krishna as being very special. Especially if it is cooked by an advanced devotee. If it is cooked by the advanced devotee. When Srila Prabhupada came back from India in 1967, he went in 1967, Prabhupada had the heart attack. So he went to India to recuperate. And he came back on December the 14th. He went back Hawaii route. So he landed in San Francisco. And Prabhupada brought with him a machine for shredding coconut. So when he arrived in the temple, after darshan, after saying hello to everyone and giving some talk, Prabhupada took his coconut shredder into the kitchen and made coconut laddus in front of everyone. Coconut laddus. And then he took one and he gave to others. So can you imagine how powerful that coconut laddu must have been? Cooked by a pure devotee in Mahabhagavad, offered to Krishna. So we should always take the prasad of the Lord. So text 124. Artikrika Matsova Srimurti Darshana Nija Priya Dana Dana Tadiya Sevana. One should, number 23, attend the arti and festivals of the Lord. So one should attend the arti, one stands up, offers respect, and festivals like Nishingadev's appearance day, like Lord Nityananda's appearance day, like Krishastami. Krishastami is now coming up. So we should offer respect. We should attend these festivals, especially when the deities are involved. Festivals, Jagannath Festival, Radhanath Festival. These festivals are called Utsava. And the word Utsavan, Utsahan, means enthusiasm. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is described by attending these festivals, you become very enthusiastic. I know this is how I got involved in Krishna consciousness. In 1973, I was living in Oxford, and I went to a festival at the town hall. And I heard the devotees chant and sing. And that festival created interest. And I know many devotees have attended festivals over the years, Rath Yatra festivals. So this is a very powerful way to preach Krishna consciousness. Everyone likes a festival. Singing, dancing, drama, nice prasad, high philosophy. So these festivals, introduced by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and by Srila Prabhupada in the West. So we should attend the different ceremonies to honor the Lord and the arti ceremony. Number 24, see the deity. So we should see the deity, but the idea is we present ourselves before the deity of Radha Radhanath, Jagannath, Subhadra, Balaram, Prabhupada. And we explain to them or pray to them, and we give them an account of what we've been doing and how we can make further spiritual advancement. So darshan is not so much we seeing God, but allowing the Lord to see us. Do you understand? But still, to see the nicely decorated deity of the Lord is very enlivening. And it creates enthusiasm. Actually, it also creates lobha. Seeing the nicely dressed deity. So Prabhupada introduced this deity worship. Actually, he introduced it in Los Angeles. Prabhupada stayed in the Los Angeles temple, 1970, for many months, teaching his disciples how to engage in deity worship nicely. And then Prabhupada invited other leaders from around the world to come and to also learn how to do deity worship. So in our society, ISKCON, deity worship is very expertly done. It's very nicely done. It's done with a very nice feeling, decorating with jewelry, clothing, handmade clothes, flower garlands, the deity. So number 24 was see the deity. Number 25, present what is very dear to oneself to the deity. So whatever you're very attached to, present to the deity. When the parents, when the father and mother have a young child, they should bring that child and offer it to the deity. We have the hundi also in front of the deity, where you make some donation or you offer fruits and flowers. Actually, whenever you meet a superior, you should bring some gift. Now that gift can just be a flower. That gift can be some words, some submissive prayers. When you come before the superior, you should offer something. Now we bow down, so immediately we're offering ourselves. When you bow down, you're touching. You can bow down straight, it's called dandavat. And you touch the two legs, the two kneecaps, the two shoulders, the two arms. But you can also bow down, half bow down as it were. But the idea is in submission, you're offering yourself to the pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, and the deity. Number 26, meditate. So we're allowed to meditate. We're allowed to meditate on the form of the Lord. We're allowed to meditate on the pastimes of Krishna. We're allowed to meditate on the holy name. To meditate. And number 27, serve those related to the Lord. It's called tadiya. So Tulsi is related to the Lord. Therefore we serve Tulsi. The spiritual master, the guru, is related. We serve them. The residents of Vrindavan are connected to Krishna. In the Adi Purana, it is said, Ye me bhakti janapata, ye me bhakti janapata. Those who say they are my devotees are actually not my devotees. But those who say they are the devotees of my devotees are my bhaktas. So we don't approach Krishna directly. We approach him through his pleasure potency, Radharani. Therefore you'll find in Vrindavan, when persons greet each other, they don't say, hello, how are you? How's the weather? They don't say like that. They say, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe, or Radhe Radhe. Some say Jai Shri Krishna. Many times now they're saying Hari Bol. That's also nice. But traditionally, it's Jai Shri Radhe or Radhe Radhe. That's how they greet each other. It's wonderful. Only in Vrindavan you get this. Even in Mayapur you don't get it. Even in Jagannath Puri you don't get it. Only Vrindavan. It's a very wonderful place. So we don't try to become Krishna's devotee. We try to become the devotee of the devotee of the devotee of the devotee of Krishna. And the more devotees you can go backwards, the better it is for you. Das, Anu Das, Anu Das, Anu Das, Anu Das. So we're not so presumptuous as to worship God directly. It's not like you have God in your hand. It's not so correct. It's not the right mood. But rather we're the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. So Lord Krishna's supreme servant is Radharani, Radhe. And her servants, Lalita, Vishaka, Rupa Manjari, Lavanga Manjari. And their servants all the way down to Bhaktivinoda, Bhaktisiddhanta, Srila Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada has his beloved servants who are acting as spiritual masters in the ISKCON society. So we approach our superiors. It's called Guru Vaga. That word Guru Vaga, what's it mean? One's Guru elders, superiors. Clearly we have superiors. We shouldn't think, I am the most superior devotee of God. That's being facetious. That's being presumptuous. That is the qualification of a neophyte devotee. A neophyte devotee will think, I'm the most important. I am number one. When I go to the temple on Sunday in the afternoon, everyone looks at me. Look at my sari. It's so beautiful. It's Benares silk. It's not plastic Chinese. Look at my kurta. It is so beautifully ironed. And the way my head is shaved. And I walk up here and everyone looks at me, bowing down. I am the best. I am the greatest. You are the greatest idiot. You are the best idiot. So we don't want to get proud. To become proud is not good in spiritual life. We have nothing to be proud of. We've come to this material world and we're all a little envious of God. So we have nothing to be proud of. So rather humility. Humility is a very attractive quality, to be humble. The meek shall inherit this world. So rather qualities of gentleness, humility, mildness, rather than being harsh, heavy and hard. So we should see ourselves as assisting our spiritual master. We all have our spiritual masters, our gurus. And the guru is assisting Srila Prabhupada. The Madhya Adhikari, or the middle class devotee, sees himself or herself as the right hand of the Uttama. So clearly, Srila Prabhupada is the Uttama Bhagwan. He's the first class devotee. And the second class devotee sees himself or herself as serving that first class devotee. So we see ourselves as the right hand or the left hand. We're assisting our spiritual masters who are assisting Srila Prabhupada, who is assisting his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta, who is assisting his Guru, all the way back to Rupa Goswami. This is very important, this idea of serving the Lord and serving his devotees from behind. So text 125. Tadiya Tulsi Vaishnav Mathura Bhagavat Acharya Seva Hoye Krishnara Abhimat. So the last one, number 27, was serve those related to the Lord. And the word is Tadiya. Now this verse explains more about Tadiya. Tadiya means Tulsi leaves, the devotees of Krishna, the birthplace of Krishna, Mathura, the Vedic literatures, Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is very eager to see his devotees serve Tulsi, Vaishnava, Mathura, and Bhagavatam. So there we have it. That's the Bengali. Krishna is very eager to see us serve Tulsi Devi. Therefore, the worship of Tulsi Devi was introduced into ISKCON. And daily, we worship Tulsi Devi. And then we wear the Tulsi beads. These Tulsi beads are touching our skin. We're chanting on our Japamala, which is also made from Tulsi. So Krishna is very eager to see his devotees serve Tulsi and to serve the Vaishnavas. That is called Vaishnava Seva. Serve the Vaishnavas. You can serve the Vaishnavas in many different ways, but try to serve the Vaishnavas. And not just the very advanced Vaishnavas. You also serve the Vaishnavas who aren't so advanced. You serve all the Vaishnavas. Serve Mathura and serve the Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam. We serve Srimad Bhagavatam. We serve Mathura, Vrindavan. You can serve Vrindavan and Mathura simply by taking some of that dust and daily putting that dust on your head. Putting a little drop in your mouth. In the Brahma Pramada, in the Brahma Purana, it is said that by simply touching the dust of Vrindavan, you can attain more advancement than going to all the holy places in all the three worlds. Simply touching the dust of Vrindavan. So you visit Vrindavan, you take some of that dust. That's called Tadiya. Text 126. Krishnata Akila Chesta Tad Kripa Vlokana Janma Dinadi Mahotsava Lana Bhakta Jana. Number 31. One should perform all endeavors for Krishna. Number 32. One should look forward to his mercy. Number 33. One should partake of various ceremonies, like Krishna's birthday, Ramchandra's birthday. So we do that. Ram Navami, Krishnastami, and as I mentioned, Krishnastami festival is approaching, and we're organizing various festivals. Text 127. Savata Saranapati Kartika Brat Chatu Sasti Angiye Parama Mahatvat. 34. One should surrender to Krishna in all respects. 35. One should observe particular vows, like Kartik Brat. These are some of the 34 most important items of devotional service. So Kartik is also coming up. It's in the month of October. This year it's October the 17th to November the 17th. So this is an occasion to make advancement. In spiritual life we should look forward to making spiritual advancement. This is our whole purpose. We want to go forward in bhakti. How do you make material advancement? Accumulate money, bank accounts, opulence, gold, property, sense enjoyment. nice car, nice house. This is how we go forward in material life. Promotion at work. This is how we advance materially. But we're talking about advancing spiritually. How do you advance spiritually? You increase your taste for the holy name of the Lord. This word taste is called ruchi. So all of you have some interest in chanting God's name, but we want to make that more concentrated. We want to make it more stronger. Increase our ruchi for the holy name of the Lord. Increase our taste for hearing Bhagavata, Bhagavad Gita. Increase our attachment to advanced devotees of the Lord. We should increase our attachment to all devotees, especially those who are more advanced, like the Guru, like Srila Prabhupada, like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. Increase our attachment to such persons. We should become more renounced. Automatically you become more detached and more renounced as you become more attached to Krishna. As you become more attached to Krishna, you lose interest in material attachments. Money doesn't hold such a big interest for you. Name and fame. In Sanskrit it's called pratishta, name and fame. This is not so important for you. Even your own family members. You may have your own family members, husband, wife, children. And as a matter of duty, you try to educate them in spiritual life. But you become a little bit more detached from them. It doesn't mean you abandon them, but more detached. It's healthy to become more detached. We're not encouraging you to abandon your responsibilities, but to become more detached. Makes the mind more peaceful. After all, your family members will die. Your husband, your wife, your children, your grandchildren, you will die. We're all going to die. So we might as well get in that mindset and understand death will come to me. Every day so many people die. Throughout the world, from natural causes, 150,000 people die every day. South Africa has a particularly high rate of car accidents, AIDS, over 1,000 every day, murders, 40 or 50 every single day. So death is there. We just have to look around and we see it. So one should be very careful not get intoxicated with this material energy. Material energy, which is exemplified by sex life, intoxication, meat eating. It is sort of like you have a fever. Now when you have a fever, you begin to hallucinate, is it not? You know, at R.K. Khan's hospital, people have fevers. And they begin to hallucinate. And then you think something which is not. You imagine seeing something which doesn't exist. So when you get affected by the fever of material energy, material nature, you begin to hallucinate and you think, I am God. I will never die. I have my money, security. I have so many people who can protect me, bodyguards, family members. These things happen to other people, death, old age, but I'm all right. Somehow or other I'm going to make out. So it's like a fever. Now you've got to bring that fever down. So you bring that fever down. In hospital you have a fever. You bring it down with right medicine and diet. So what is our diet? Prasad. Is it not? And what is our medicine? Harikatha. Especially chanting the name of God. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
This is the perfect diet and the perfect medicine. In the spiritual life, this medicine, the holy name of the Lord, you cannot take enough. In the material world, you have medicine, you've got to read the instructions. If you take too much, you overdose. Is it not like Michael Jackson? you overdose. We hear about it all the time. One has to be careful. But in spiritual life, the medicine of the holy name, you cannot take enough. The more you take it, the more you get intoxicated in spiritual life. And this type of intoxication we want. We don't want material intoxication. As I mentioned, material intoxication is alcohol, drugs, but even money, fame, these things intoxicate you. A young lady, when she's 20 or something, her body is very powerful, her body is very attractive. A man also is very strong. They get intoxicated with their youth. So it's not just alcohol that you get intoxicated by, but also your own youth. Students at university, they get intoxicated because they passed their matric. You know, they have 7 A's or something, and they think, you know, I know everything, past, present, and future. I can understand everything, you know, first year at university or something. You find this in students. Sometimes they get a little proud and intoxicated like this. So we want to bring down the fever of material nature, and we do this by chanting the name of God and following these different principles that I mentioned. So these are just some of them. Now you can read these in Nectar Devotion. Altogether there are 64. And out of those 64, which is the most important? Which is the most powerful? Harinam, chanting the name of God. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said that the other 64 qualities are included in chanting the Lord's holy name, although they may not be evident. You may not be able to see them. Everything is included in the chanting of God's name. And the chanting of God's name is the foremost of all the angas of bhakti. It's the most important and the most powerful. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has described this in Jaivedanta. So please take this seriously. Try to chant the holy name with faith, with veneration, with devotion. And also you can concentrate on these other ones as well. No harm. We should be aware of them and try to put them into practice. Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Shri Radha Radhanath ki, Shri Shri Nitai Gaura Hari ki, Jagannath Subhadra Balarama ki, Gau Premanandi. Questions. How can one maintain a balance between spreading Lord Chaitanya's mission and developing bhajan and sadhana? So, Srila Prabhupada gave us a very perfect balance, and that was the morning program. So Mangalarti, 4:30, and then Tulsi Puja, and then we chant an hour and a half, 2 hours. Then the Guru Puja, the greeting of the deity, and then breakfast, and then we go about our missionary activities, managing, preaching, food for life, book distribution, publishing books, or whatever. Then in the evening, if we can come together again and read Bhagavad Gita, read Krishna book, that's very good. Becomes like a sandwich. So Prabhupada gave us this schedule. We should put it into practice and try to follow it. And this is a healthy balance. Sometimes that balance will change. For instance, you go on parikrama to India. You spend 2 weeks in Vrindavan, 2 weeks in Mayapur, 2 weeks in Puri. You're not preaching, you're not working, you're not engaging in it. You're just all the time hearing and chanting. So that schedule will change sometimes during our life. In the Christmas marathon, there's more emphasis on preaching. And when you're on your deathbed, when you're dying, there's no more preaching. You're simply chanting God's name, which is bhajan. So it changes according to your situation. What can we do with old beatbacks and broken neck beads? There's such a thing as, we would call it a sacred throwout. And when garlands get old, we deposit them in a certain area in the garden or something where sacred things are disposed of. So that's not your ordinary disposal. So you can have that also. You create that little area where prasad that has gone particularly old, that you cannot eat, or garlands that have gone particularly old. It's called sacred throwout. So we have this practice in ISKCON. So you don't mix it with ordinary rubbish, like the Sunday Times, because that is truly rubbish. Can one chant in front of the deities while arti is on? Yes, if you want to. While arti is going on, you may also choose to chant, or you may choose to join in the Gaura arti and sing the song. It's according to you. But we shouldn't disturb other people. We shouldn't chant so loudly as to disturb other people. But this is also acceptable. So thank you very much. I've just returned from preaching 2 weeks, trying to preach anyhow, in Cape Town. Cape Town, our yatra is going very nicely. We have a temple in Rondebosch, just next to where the state president lives. Of course, our house is a lot smaller than his. But we probably get more visitors than him. Anyhow, different type of visitor. But the devotees in Cape Town are preaching very enthusiastically and organizing a Rath Yatra. And it's a very nice family type of atmosphere. Smaller temple than this, of course. It's a large house, very large house actually. So I'll be staying here for a few more months. So I look forward to taking your darshan in the future. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Radhanath ki jai, Nitai Gaura Hari ki jai, Jagannath Subhadra Balaram ki jai, Gau Premanandi jai. So I have a short kirtan. More announcements?
Hare Krishna. It's 2 announcements. One that His Holiness Partha Sarathi Das Goswami Maharaj will be doing the Tuesday evening program at New Jagannath Puri. So everyone's invited to go there. And also, due to the inclement weather, prasadam will be served in the temple room. So after the kirtan, please don't leave. Prasadam will be served in the temple. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadara Shiva Sarathi Gaura Hare Sushishana Divine Grace of Vaishnava Bhaktivedanta Goswami Prabhupada ki Swami Ramdacharya Sri Prabhupada ki
Jai!
Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivajikacharya Saraswati Divine Grace So Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki
Jai!
French Koshi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Vishaya Vartigara Goswami Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki Shishi Radha Krishna Gopina Shama Radha Giri Govardhana ki Vrindavan Dhama ki Radha Dhama ki Radhamaya ki Radhamaya ki Tulsi Devi ki Bhakti Devi ki Gaur Premanand Glory to Samadhi Glory to Samadhi Glory to Samadhi Shri Guru
Jai! Oh, Hari Bol.